पवा पेरी किस किस दे में जा पवा पेरी किस किस दे में जा पवा पेरी चरणी लगावी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू फुल के विसारियां चरणी लगावी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू फुल के विसारियां तू ना विसारी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू फुल के विसारियां रात अंधेरी कोमल घेरी रात अंधेरी कोमल घेरी फंस गई नाव भंवर बिच मेरी फंस गई नाव भंवर बिच मेरी फंस गई नाव भंवर बिच मेरी राह दिखावी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू भुल के विसारियां राह दिखावी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू भुल के विसारियां तू ना विसारी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू भुल के विसारियां तू दाता मैं दीन भिखारी तू दाता मैं दीन भिखारी दर तेरे ते मैं झोली पसारी दर तेरे ते मैं झोली पसारी दर तेरे ते मैं झोली पसारी राह दिखावी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू फुल के विसारियां तू ना विसारी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू फुल के विसारियां तू ना विसारी दाता मैनू जिवें तैनू फुल के विसारियां हरि ओम हरि ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वती नमः। ओम श्री गुरुदेवता भ्यो नमः। Namaskar and Swagatam. We welcome you to Sri Ram Mandir. Today is Ashtami, the 8th day where we glorify the Divine Mother, Durga, Lakshmi or Saraswati in their 3 specific forms known as the 9 Devis, the 9 Durga Devis. We pray to them today, glorifying them all. अस्तीत गुहितं विप्र सर्वभूतोपकारकं दिव्यस्तु कवचं पुण्यं तत्शृणुष्व महामुने। प्रथमं शैलपुत्रीति द्वितीयं ब्रह्मचारिणी तृतीयं चण्डगन्तेति पुष्मान्तेति चतुर्थकं पंचमस्कंदमातेति षष्ठं कान्यानि तथा सप्तमं कालरात्रि च महागौरीति चाष्टमं नवमं सिद्धिदात्री च नव दुर्गा प्रकीर्तिता उक्त्येतानि नामानि ब्रह्मणैव महात्मनः। ओम नमश्चंडिकाय ओम नमश्चंडिकाय ओम नमश्चंडिकाय ओम नमश्चंडिकाय। नव दुर्गा माता की जय। जय मां जय मां जय जय मां जय मां जय मां जय दुर्गा मां जय जय मां जय मां जय दुर्गा मां जय मां जय मां जय दुर्गा मां जय बोलो जय मां बोलो जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा सुधा नमस्तुते। जय तं देवी चामुंडे जय भूतारिणी हारिणी जय सर्वगणाते देवी कालरात्रि नमस्तुते। जय मां जय दुर्गा मां जय मां जय दुर्गा मां बोलो जय 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 मां जय मां जय दुर्गा मां जय मां जय दुर्गा Mata ki jai. On the normal conditions, we would have been gathered in the mandir, and all of us would have been witness to all of the puja and austerities. But today, because of time, we have conducted puja to Ganeshji, and we have conducted puja onto the Durga, the now Durga Devis, then Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. But we want you, wherever you are at home, to be engaged in these festivities. First, we glorify Ganesh. Om. Scale. D. Om. Sumukascha ekadantascha kapilo gajakarnaka lambodharakshna vignato vignanasho vinayaka धूम्रकेतु गणाध्यक्षो बालचंद्र गजानन द्वादशैतानि नामानि यावदेशनु यादपि विद्यारंभे विवाहे च प्रवेशे निर्गमे तथा संग्रामे संकटे चैवा विघ्नतस्य न जायते शुक्लांबरधरं देवं शशिवरं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नं वदनं जाये सर्वविघ्नो प्रशान्ते मल्यादीनि सुगन्धीनि मालित्यादीनि मे प्रभु मायार्कानि पूजार्थं पुष्पाणि प्रेताम् गणपति देवता की जय। गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया हे गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया। सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया। कर्पूर गौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे त्वां भवानी चैतन्यम्। गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति देवता की जय। We invite everyone's attention to the Divine Mother in the form of Durga, Lakshmi or Saraswati Mata. We clasp our hands and close our eyes and bow our heads wherever we are. Om Sarvamangal Mangalye Shive Sarvadasarike Saranye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Hiranyavarnam Harunim Suvaranaratastajam Chandram Hiranyahi Lakshmi Jatavedo Mahava Tama Avajatavedo Lakshmi Manapagamini यस्यां हिरण्यविन्देयं गामस्वं पुरुषानहम्। ओम श्री शक्ति माता की जय। ओम बजाओ तब। ओम श्रीखंड चंदनम दिव्यम गंधार्तस्य मनोहरम विलेपनम सुरश्रेष्ठा चंदनम परिग्रहेताम्। सिंदूरम शोभनम रक्तम सौभाग्यम सुखवर्धनम सुखदम कामदम शैवां सिंदूरम परिग्रहेताम्। सिंदूरम समर्पयामि। अक्षता सुरश्रेष्ठो कुङ्कुमुक्ता सुशोभितं माया निवेदितं भक्त्यं क्रियाणां परमेश्वरम्। ॐ मल्यादीनि सुगन्धिनि मालित्यादीनि वे प्रभो मायर्कानि पूजार्थं पुष्पाणि प्रतिगृहीताम्। ओम श्री दुर्गा माता पुष्पं समर्पयामि। मल्यादीनि सुगन्धिनि मालित्यादीनि वे प्रभु मार्तानि पूजार्थं पुष्पाणि प्रतिगृहीताम्। ओम श्री लक्ष्मी माता पुष्पमाला समर्पयामि। नाना सुगंधि पुष्पाणि यथा काले भवानि च पुष्पाञ्जलिं क्रियाणां परमेश्वरी। ओम श्री सरस्वती माता पुष्पमाला समर्पयामि। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ॐ साजं कवर्ति संयुक्तं वह्नायोनितं मया दीपं गृहाण देवेश त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापम्। ओम साजं कवर्ति संयुक्तं वह्नायोनितं मया दीपं गृहाण देवेश त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापम्। ओम श्री शक्ति माता दीपं समर्पयामि।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दे यत्पत्रनेत्रं येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णे प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीपः। नमो ब्राह्मण्यदेवाय गौब्राह्मण्यहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येर्माक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गे तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनुभिर्व्यसेमहि देवहितं जदायुः शतमिन्नु शरदो अन्तिदेवा जत्रा निशकिरा झरसन्तनूनाम पुत्रासो पितरो भवन्ति मानो मद्यारेरिखतायुर्गन्तोः आदितिर्ध्योरादितिरन्तरिक्षमदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा आदितिः पञ्चजना आदितिर्जातमदितिर्जनित्वम्मा द्योः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः।
शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधिः।
ॐ हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतश्चां चन्द्रां हिरण्यैः लक्ष्मी जातवेदो आवजातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनी यस्यान्हिरण्यविन्देयं गामस्वं पुरुषाणां गन्धद्वारा दुरादर्शां नित्यं पुष्टां करीशनीं ईश्वरी सर्वभूतानां कामियो वयस्वियम् ॐ महादिव्य विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्। श्री शक्ति माता की जय। Once again, we welcome each and every one of you. And tonight we continue the Ram Katha. For those of you who are joining us, who are following, we are on now continuing Adinyakan on page 493 of the Motilar Banarsidas version of the Ramcharitmanas, and we'll be proceeding to read from the third and fourth chopai. Of course, we are being introduced to a new character tonight, a new devotee of the Lord, one who we will see will make great sacrifice in the protection of righteousness and dharma. We, in the world that we live in, we see righteousness being stampede upon. We see the human rights being stampeded upon, but from time to time we see the righteousness prevail. Like in the incidents in the world all around us, we can see it on the media and the news, where righteousness ultimately prevails. Here we are introduced to this new member of the Ramcharitmanas family that we know. First, we glorify the Lord. Om. Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. We want to remind all of our guests tonight, wherever you have joined us, that we will be concluding tonight at 8:30. Aarti normally we do at 8 or 8:10, but tonight until 8:30 because today being Tuesday, it is Ashtami and we have a little bit more programming. We beg your indulgence and we invite you to stay with us until that time. Om Hari Om. Varinanam Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन. जिनकी कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति पावत जन भक्तन चंदन पा बंदो चरण कमल नंदन. Tonight we will see जिनकी कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति. We will see the kripa, the compassion of the Lord, and who grants sukh and sampati to all those who are in difficulties. Here, Sant Goswami Tulsidas introduces us to the very, very revered Jatayu. कर सरोज सिर पर कर सरोज सिर पर कृपा सिंधु रघुवीर ओ रामा कृपा सिंधु रघुवीर निरखी रामचरि भाव मुकुर विगत भाई सब पीर सियावर राम की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम. In our last Katha last night, we led to the point where marriage will deceive the Lord by taking the form of a golden deer and attract his attention and enchanting towards a direction that to take him away from Mother Sita. And when she was left unprotected after Lakshman had gone off looking for Prabhu Ram, after marriage had intentionally deceived him by calling upon Lakshman, and when he was dying, as such, as if Ram was in pain, Lakshman went to rescue his brother and leaving Sita at the mercy of Ravan. But we must remember, what Ravan will be seeing was the facade of the Divine Mother. For the true Divine Mother cannot be conquered by any kind of animosity, greed, false pride. They are all can be vanquished with just her presence. Thus, in the Katha, Ravan takes Sita and is now taking her away in his chariot, aerial chariot. And while he was doing this, Sita was in tears and distress and appealing to all those she can see. But then a rescuer came to her rescue. And that is the great bird called Jatayu. Jatayu saw Ravan and attacked him immediately and demanded that he let her go. Jatayu, the big bird, picked up Ravan from his carriage and tossed him on the ground. And he was unconscious for a few minutes. Although Ravan was such a powerful being, this bird had the power to pick him up by the claws and toss him on the ground. Of course, Ravan recovering back, and as the bird came to him, Ravan took his sword and chopped the wings off, making the bird not dead, but not able to do what they normally do. Without their wings, and they cannot fly. Jatayu lay on the ground bleeding, and then stayed there until Rama, having discovered that Sita has been taken away, is in the forest and finds Jatayu. Now, here we see the Lord meeting Jatayu. And Sant Goswami Tulsidas says that this Lord, Karasasoro Kripa Sindhu Raghubir, that Lord who's Kripa Sindhu, who has endless compassion, he of course took Jatayu into his loving embrace, and then with the bird looking into his eyes and giving the comfort to the bird that worry not, I am here and I've come to give you the ultimate bliss, the ultimate of salvation. Of course, Jatayu related to the Lord all that has happened and what direction Ravan went, and giving all of the information. And of course, then what happened? लागी प्रभु राके उपराना चलन चहत अब कृपा निधाना राम
सिया राम जय जय राम
राम सिया राम
जय जय
राम. Jatayu related to the Divine Lord that, oh, I saw your wonderful wife in great grief and pain and fear in our eyes, being taken away by this merciless being called Ravan, and he took her to the southern direction. And she was screaming and appealing for anyone to help. I've kept alive, oh my Lord, so I can tell you, I've stayed alive that I can share with you this important message. Here, Jatayu is making a statement that my life is really only of value when I can deliver something good. And after I've done that, if I have no life, then my life has been lived full. Because to living life to the fullest is to do that which is good. So Jatayu said, I've done this, and I'm glad that I still have the breath in my body to let you know that you can pursue and go after your objective and to achieve them, that is to rescue Mother Sita. In life itself, many of us have challenges. Do we take the opportunity with our last breath to declare something that we could do good? Jatayu was at the last breath and says, yet my life is secondary, my service to humanity is number one. And thus, this concept of service first before the self is being expounded in very simple terms by this devotee of Prabhu Sri Ramachandra called Jatayu. The Lord's soothing Jatayu at this stage speaks to Jatayu. Sri Ram Jai Ram again. राम कहाँ तन राकहु आता सुख मुसुकाई कही देही बाता श्री राम जाकर नाम मरत सुख आवा जाकर नाम मरत मुख आवा अगवी मुकुट होई श्रुति गावा राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम राम जय प्रभु रामा जय सीताराम. Prabhu Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan is now being the friend, befriending the friend, like a human being to another human being. Looking at one who is distressed and at the last moment of the death, is saying, no, you cannot die, you cannot leave me. San Goswami Tulsidas, Kagusund is telling Garudaji, Yagya Balak Bharadwaj, and Shivji is telling Parvati, oh, that Lord, who is the one whose name, when uttered at the last breath, brings salvation, he is telling Jatayu not to die. And yet, he is holding Jatayu in his hands. Here, we have all been told that in our scriptures that even the last moment, that on one's last breath, if you whisper in their ears, Ram Nam Satya Hai, this is why it's done. And you hear this constantly, Ram Nam Satya Hai, that the name of the Divine Lord, just hearing it for that moment, at that last moment, on that one instant, can bring ultimate salvation. Sitabadi Ramachandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. In all of our Katha, I am imploring our students to take note of significant information that they may have heard sometimes and never realize that it is actually written in the scriptures. And many of the moral values that we live in our everyday life, here in the Ramcharitmanas, we're seeing them identified and so on. So tonight we saw this statement about why calling the name of God at the end. And here it was written, Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. The Lord continues. Ram. सोमलोचन गोचर आगे राख दे नाथ कागेरा जलबरी नयन कही रघुराई तात कर्म निज ते गति पाई राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम. Sant Goswami Tulsidas is telling him that Jatayu is reflecting, look, I am in the presence of this same Lord whose name they mention at the end of their death, and he is with me. How fortunate I am. And then, oh Lord, this body of mine has served its purpose. And to stay, you've asked me not to die, but to stay now have no value because I've served my purpose. I've done the good deed. And Prabhu Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan, with tears flowing from his eyes, आंखों में आंसू भरकर श्री रघुनाथ जी कहने के हे तात अपना अपना कर्मों से ही सदगति पाई है. He says, it is your good karma that has brought you to this stage where I am with you and you're with me. Siddhavadi Ramachandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. There is so much that can be taken out of these few verses, whereby the devout and the divine are together. Lakshmana asked the question, what is the difference between the soul and the divine Lord? And there was a definition given. Here we see the divine and the Atma becoming together, where the Atma becomes one with the Paramatma, where Jatayu departure, sung in the name of the Lord, will bring him in line with that relationship with Prabhu Ramchandra Bhagavan, that Pare se Pare Paramatma. In these three chaupayas, we see the devotee serving, we see the Lord acknowledging the service, we see them gaining the benefit of such service, and we see the reality that life without service in the name of God is a life lived in futility. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. We continue, and we now move to meeting of another character. We'll be going on page 496. And we'll be introduced to the devotee whose katha has been sung and praise have been sung more often, even to Hanuman from time to time, because her katha is well renowned. For in this meeting of this devotee, the Lord gives a great teaching. And let us meet this devotee first. The Lord is about to meet the great devotee we call Severi. Severi's Katha has been told in many ways. But at this point, we will take this version. The Severi was a person of the jungle who chose to serve the rishis and the munis in the ashram in the jungle. And while she served them, being a woman, she was not allowed to go in the ashram of these sannyasis. And she was told, serve them without coming into contact with them. And as such, she served them every day by clearing the pathway where they walked and things like that. Thus, the time came when she met the head of the ashram, Matanga Rishi, who told her, look, Severi, I am going to leave this ashram. I'm going to the place where ultimately I'll become one with the Lord. And Severi said, please take me, for I want to go there too. And Matanga Rishi says, no, you stay here. I have to go and look for the Lord. But you, he will come and meet. So Severi is about to receive that promise that made by the great Rishi. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. The chaupai before the doha. Oh, prema magana mukh bachanan aava. Puni puni padas roja sirunava Ram. सागर जलल चरण पखारे पुनि सुंदर आसन बैतारे राम राम सिया राम सिया राम जय जय राम. When Severi came into contact with the Lord, she was privileged to invite him to her home. As Matanga Rishi had told her, he will come to meet you. You don't have to look for him. Now, are we all that privileged? Will the Lord come to our home to meet us? Yes, we are. The Lord comes to our home with every breath that we take. Because our house is our heart. It is not the physical abode. And the Lord is in our heart at all times. Are we ready to receive him? Severi was waiting on him every day. We were told that every day she would go and search the forest for all the sweetest fruits and bulbs and roots and taste them and says, this one is sweet, I'll keep it for my Lord. She is living in her entire life waiting for the Lord to arrive. And such, the Lord is always in our hearts, but are we waiting for him to arrive? Are we really expecting him to be in our lives? Or are we only saying, where is God? Where is God? Why is he not here to rescue me? Severi was not saying that. Severi believed he will come. He is with me at all times. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki. And what does she do? कंद मूल पर सुरस अति दिए राम कहूँ आनी प्रेम सहित प्रभु काए बारंबार बकार सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम. Of course, Sevari, in greeting the Lord in the Chaupai we chanted before, Sant Goswami Tulsidas described how she got water and washed his feet and gave him a comfortable seat and made him comfortable. And then she brought to him Kandamulapal, all the fruits that she'd be gathering that she might have tasted before and giving it to Rama. And Baram Baravakani, over and over the Lord was eating and enjoying. And we are told by some writers, Lakshman was observing, this is a jungle lady. And she is feeding my Lord fruits that she has tasted already. Jutapal, how could the Lord be eating that? Is it not to be offered to him first? Well, was it offered to him first? It was offered every day in her life. Every day in her life, what was she doing? I am looking for fruits for my Lord. And I'm tasting it in his name. Thus, you see, sometimes what we see and what is are two different things. What Lakshmana observed, or what the writer observed, is that the Lord sees all things and knows all things. He didn't have to worry that, is this washed? Or is it clean? Or is she clean? He knew. And he understood the purity, not from the hands, but the purity of the mind. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Just Sevari, without a doubt, brought purity from her heart to Prabhu Ram. Now, she stood with the Lord and glorifies him. पानी जोरी आगे बहतारी प्रभु ही बोले के प्रीति अटुबारी श्री राम कही बिरी स्तुति करहूँ तुम्हारी अधम जाति में जरमति भारी कही बिरी स्तुति हूँ तुम्हारी अधम ते अधम दम अति नारी बोलो अधम ते तीन में अति मंद अदारी कह रघुपति सुन भामिनी बाता मानव एक भक्ति करना बोलो श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम. Sevari stood in front of the Lord and glorified him, saying, Kehi bidi astuti karuhu tumhari. What kind of praises can I give to you, O Lord? You are the Almighty, omnipotent and omnipresent. I am merely a humble servant of this jungle life. What can I give you in praise? How can I praise you? Adham ajati mai jara mat mari. He says, I am a simple-minded individual. I have no knowledge of your virtues, O Lord. Adhamate adham adhamati nari. I am the simpler and simplest of all beings, limited in knowledge in every way, that, O Lord, Dinam hame ati manda adhari. Kahu Raghupati. The Lord, listening to Sevari, responded to her. Shri Ram ji ne kaha, Hey Bhamini, meri baat sun. Listen to my words, O dear mother. मैं तो केवल एक भक्ति का ही नाता मानता हूँ. He said, there is only one type of relationship that I have with my devotees. And it doesn't matter what it is manav ek bhakti karanata. He says, my relationship is bounded by bhakti. That is the string of connection that I have between the devotee and myself, their bhakti. Mano eka bhakti karanatha. And he says, do not worry, Seori. He goes on to explain to Seori. Jati pati kul dharm barai, dhan bal parijan gun chaturai, bhakti hinar sohe kaisa, binu jal bari de kai jaisa. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Despite caste, color, creed, tradition, lineage, position, power, wealth, looks, none of these things are what brings me close to a devotee. So these things are made of frills and fancies of materialism. You know, in this world, especially in Ontario, we have a no-frill store where you can go and buy the same product, but it is not in a nice box, and it's not package wrapped, and it's not, but the product inside the box is genuine. The Lord says, I look for what's inside the box, not the decorations. Humanity presents himself to God thinking the decorations are going to impress God. And the Lord is saying, no, 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 no. It's what's inside when you give and make offerings to me that makes all the difference, not the frills and the fancy. That doesn't mean that the frills and fancies are not important. I mean, what is more important, it was come from within. And he says that know it to be this, that I consider faith more important than anything else. And when it comes to all of these other things, I compare them to a blade of grass. If someone comes to me with wealth, position, power, and says, I have all of these, Lord, can I have a relationship with you? You know, some people try to make connections because of their position, their power, their money. Well, because I'm this, you have to relate to me. The Lord says, no, that doesn't impress me at all. It says you can have all of these, but you do not have faith. Then building a relationship with me has a limited potential. Siddhapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. The Lord continues to speak to Seori. Nodha bhakti kahu tohi pai, saudhan sumir man amai. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Saudhan suni dharu man mahi. He says, Seodi, listen to me. I will relate to you these 9 approaches that all of humanity can take who wants to build a relationship with me. Navdha bhakti kaho tehi pai. I will explain it to you, these 9 connections you can have with me. And this is called the Navdha Bhakti Katha. Tonight we shall not dwell on this Katha, because it's one that is read in this mandir, and wherever Ramcharitmanas has been read, everyone is familiar with them. But we want to move on tonight, as we've just met Jatayu and Seori, and we are moving on. Siyapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. What's our next page? We now move to Kiskinda Kand. And this is one of the shortest books in the Ramcharitmanas. Kiskinda Kand and Sundar Kand. That is Bal Kand, Aranya Kand, Ayodhya Kand are very, very lengthy books. But Kiskinda Kand and Sundar Kand are short and sweet. And here we are introduced to the number 1 Bhakta, the number 1 Das of the Divine Lord. And we know now that the Lord, Lakshman and Prabhu Sri Ram is searching for Mother Sita. They are in their travels, they have met Jatayu, they have met Seori, and they have met many different individuals along the pathway. And now they come to the Rishim Parbat, where it is said that Hanumanji exists. And here we are introduced to that Hanuman. रघुराया ऋषि मुख पर्वत नियर राया राम Ram. Rishimukh Parvat. In this journey, the mountain range that are called the Rishimukh mountain range, at the foothills of the mountain range, they have arrived. Tahara Sachiva Sahita Sugrima Avat Dekhi अतुल बल सीमा अति सबित कहु सुनु हनुमान पुरुष जुगल बल रूप निधान धरि भरु रूप देखुते जाई कहे सुजानी जी समय बुझाई श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. As Ram and Lakshman approach this area, they are unaware that there are some inhabitants in this area and that a great king is in exile. And this king name is Sugriv. Sugriv had a confrontation with his brother Vali, and his brother Vali usurped his kingdom and exiled him. Sugriv's number one servant was a devotee of Prabhu Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan by the name of Hanuman. Hanumanji and the lookouts noticed that there are these two wonderful young men in the forest, but they are aware that Sugriv is hiding from his brother, and his brother has the potential of sending assassins to kill him. And they're always on the lookout. When the word came to Sugriv that, look, there are two men who are armed with bow and arrow, and they look like Kshatriyas, warriors, and they're in the forest, instantly the first thought, oh my God, Vali has sent two assassins to kill me. So Sugriv immediately called upon Hanuman, his most trusted servant, and he says to him, Brahman ka vesh dharan kar, he says, take the form of a simple young Brahmin student and go and approach these people and inquire who they are and then give me the appropriate sign. Now, a couple of things. The instructions from Sugriv to Hanuman, we have to understand that Hanumanji obviously can change his ability because he was told to take a different form. So that was declared up front when we were introduced to him. And then what form did he tell him to take? He is going to meet some assassins or potential assassins, and he's saying go to them as a Brahmin student. He didn't tell him go to them as a powerful warrior. Why? Why is Sugriv sending Hanuman, his most powerful warrior? He says, be a humble student of Dharma and go and meet the potential enemy. What is the message he's sending to the world? He says, approach your enemies in a humble state. For in that humble state, you can relate to them more than if you go in an aggressive state. Go with humility rather than aggression, even if you are meeting an aggressive person. He said, the realities are, the chances are when you go with aggression, you will be greeted with aggression. If you go with humility, the chances are even the aggressor may be humble. There's a beautiful Katha that tells us about these two warring families who were having all kinds of problems, and they were throwing stones at each other, and they had beautiful glass windows, and they have fought with each other over the years. That all the glass windows on both homes are broken, and there are all kinds of rocks in front of the glass windows. A wise man came by, and the people of the village said, look, these people, please speak to them. We don't know why they not stop quarreling. And the wise man goes to house number 1 and says, what's the problem? He says, don't ask me, ask house number 2. They're the ones who are throwing all these stones. You see all these stones here? The wise man goes to house number 2, and they said, don't ask me, ask them. You see all these stones, they threw it here. The wise man paused for a minute and noticed that although the yard is full of stones, Around the yard, there are many beautiful flower gardens. And the wise man goes over to house number 1 and says, you know what? What about if when they throw a stone, you throw a rose? And goes over to house number 2. When they throw a stone, you throw a rose. What do you think happened eventually? Everybody had rose in their garden and not rocks in their garden. If you throw rocks, you will get rocks. If you throw roses, the chances are what you throw is what you will get back. Siddhabadi Ramachandra Bhagavan ki. This simple message is the foundation for relationship building. It is the principle or the basis for good communication. Start out with a humble approach. Whether in business, in love, family relationship, political relationship, it works under all conditions where human beings are engaged. Siddhabadi Ramachandra Bhagavan ki. And this is why I tend to see Hanumanji as the number 1 communicator of the world. And as we go over this Katha tonight briefly, we will see why I make this statement. So now Hanumanji, of course, being a good servant, respects the request of his master, follows in due course. विप्ररूपधरि कपितः गयऊ मात नाई पूछत अस भयऊ विप्ररूपधरि कपितः मात नाई पूछत अस भयऊ श्री राम जय रूप धरी कपितः जाहि गई. Hanuman ji, as was suggested by his master, took the form of a young Brahmin and approached Rama Lakshman. Mat nahi puchat as bahi. And there he went to the 2 brothers, bowing his head and welcoming them. Ko tum shamal gaur sarira bolo. Chatri रूप बिरहु बन वीरा कठिन भूमि कोमल परगामी कवन तेउ बिचरु बन स्वामी. बोलो श्री राम जय. Jai Jai Rama. Kotum Shama Gaula Sharira, having bowing his head. Remember, Hanumanji was told that these people are potential assassins. He has never seen them before. They are having the most powerful arm, bow and arrows, and they are barebacked with their head knotted. They look like very, very challenging and very, very potential good warriors. He bows to them. And then he says to them, Kotma Shama Gaura Sharira, who are you two? One very fair and one dark in complexion. Chatiri Rupi Viro Banbari, and why are you like dressed in this form as warriors and here in this forest? First question, who are you? Why are you dressed this way? Why are you in this forest? By the way, Rama and Lakshman didn't do anything about that. They're just listening. Because they understand the best, the number 1 rule of communication is to listen, listen, and listen more and more. Siddhavadi Ramachandran. And then Hanumanji, being the master communicator, not only does he ask them a question, but he inquires as if he's concerned about their welfare. He is not seeing them as the enemy. Katina Bhumi Komala Padagami says, you guys are bare feet and you look so young and soft and you're walking on this harsh ground. Oh my. Kavana Hetu Bicharu Banaswami. He said, tell me, why are you all here under these strenuous conditions? Hanumanji has introduced one of the great elements of good communication introduction. Respect the person, be concerned for their welfare. It is always good to say good things, make good observations. So he says to them, you guys look very young and handsome, and your feet are soft, and you're walking on this ground. He's showing compassion and consideration for them. Now, if they're about to kill him, their response to that will be, what? He's concerned about me. Hanuman does not know what is in the mind of these two people. You and I, when we are making communication, we must not perceive what is in the mind of the others. We must be concerned with what is in my mind. Obviously, if you're going to someone and they have a gun and they're saying, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, it's very obvious what they're going to do, so I would say run. Don't stand there. But Rama and Lakshmana was not doing any of that. They were standing and they took his obeisance. They very likely smiled and looked at him. And as such, Hanumanji proceeded to set the foundations for building warm relationships. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Hanumanji continues his dialogue. And then in his dialogue, he even asked him, are you the two that I've been hearing about? That Lord incarnate, who is here as Ram and Lakshman, Nar and Narayan? He says, are you that? Of course, Hanumanji is not aware who they are. And now we come to Doha number 5 on page 508. Having asked the questions of Ram and Lakshman, they now respond to Hanuman's question. Koslis dasrati ke jaaye, hum pitu bachan mani ban aaye. Naam Ram Lakshman do bhai, sang nari sukh mari suhai. Bolo Sri Ram Jai. Now, Ram and Lakshman didn't say, hey, who are you? How dare you ask me these questions? What do you think I am? None of your business. Get lost. No. You're humble. You're kind. You're welcoming. Your question deserves an answer. And by the way, they didn't beat around the bush. They started by saying, Kosalesa Dasarat ke jaye. What did they identify? They were asked who they are. What did they identify? They identified their country, their gaon, and their father. They didn't say, my name is Ram and this is Lakshman. Because really, if you think carefully, in normal relationships, when you're a stranger going from one place to the other, the first thing people want to know, which village did you come from? Which family do you belong to? Who's your mother and father? And when they know that, they don't care about your name. They say, oh, you're a Nomita's child, right? You are Nomita's daughter. Or you are Mr. Prasad's daughter. Your name is irrelevant. Because your parents' name is what carries you. And the village you come from, yes, people from that village are usually good. And yet your father has good. So Ram and Lakshman, or Rama is laying that foundation of that how children must carry the pride of their village, their heritage, and their family heritage with them at all times. That must be one of their greatest pride. It doesn't matter who they meet, but don't ever be afraid to tell people that this is my name, and where I'm from, and say it with pride. Not to in any way egotistically, but humbly. Thus Rama is saying, he gives credit to his village, his country, and then his father. Is Pita Bachan Mani Ban Ai. He says, because of my father's words, I am honoring, that is why we are here. First, who are you? Why are you here? Answer. First question, we are the sons of Radha Dasrat from Kosala. We are here because of our father's command. Answer to answer. Not beating around the bush and gote here and there. Direct questions, direct answers. Then go on. Nama Rama Lakshmana Dovai. He says, we have two brothers. Our names are Ram and Lakshman. Sanganari Sukumari Tvai. And why are you here in this forest? We are here looking for my wife. And then he goes on to explain what has happened. So this is introduction of Hanumanji to Prabhu Ram. Hanumanji, now having listened to all of this, now he's coming to the realization that, oh, this is that Rama and Lakshman that I've heard about. Page 509, Chaupai 2. पुनि धीरजु धरि स्तुति की हर्ष हृदय निज नाते चीनी मोर न्याऊ में पूछा साई तुम पूछो ही कस नर की नाई सब माया बस पिरो भुलाना ताकि मैं प्रभु पहचाना श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय प्रभु राम. Here the devout comes to the realization of God in their life. Hanumanji come to the realization, oh my, I'm standing in front of the Lord. Like Sutikshna came to that realization, Hanumanji came to that, like Sevri came to that realization when he came to her door. Now, here the Lord has come to Hanuman, he did not go to him. Because Hanuman is a servant of the Lord of all time. And Hanumanji is saying, oh, I have found my master. But then Hanuman does something that is human in nature. He says, my Lord, it is fitting that I, because I'm ignorant, cannot recognize you. But how is it you, the Supreme Lord, did not recognize me? Why didn't the Lord recognize him? Because Hanuman wasn't Hanuman, was he? Who was he? He was a Brahmin student. He was in disguise. The Lord does not recognize us when we pretensively be something else. He recognizes us, although Hanuman did that for a good reason, the Lord is saying, and it's not that the Lord didn't recognize him, Hanuman is saying, how come you don't recognize me? The answer could be, well, you're not yourself, Hanuman. So sometimes parents don't even recognize their own children because they're not themselves. But they don't tell them that. And the child is saying, how come you don't know me? I'm your child, don't you know who I am? Or don't you know what I'm? Mother says, that's not the child I made. Not the one that's acting this way right now. As such, Hanumanji and Parvisi Ramchandra, the dialogue of communication and recognition is very important for how we deal with each other in the world. And Hanumanji is a great communicator. He makes this statement not because he wants to insult the Lord. He didn't, how dare you not recognize me? He says, I'm humble, but tell me, O Lord, why? Because I've been caught up in this Maya and I've been involved in so many things. I may have forgotten you, but have you forgotten me, Lord? No, let's see what happens next. Page 509, Chaupai 5. That's on the top. No, actually, the sixth one. Asakahi. Hanumanji, having come to the recognition that the Lord is the Lord, and having asked his question to himself, what happens next? Askai padeu charan akulai nij tanu pragate priti urachai tab raghupati utai bolo tab raghupati निज लोचन जल सींच झुरावा श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. Having recognized the Lord, Hanumanji Dandavat Pranam, and here this beautiful term is used, Asakahi pariu charan akulai. Akulai, to have a great desire, like, oh, please, that is coming from deep within inside. And he held on to the Lord's feet. In a sense, lapet karke, he's holding on to his feet in such a way, nij tanu pragati priti ura chai. And then when he did that, he came back to his true form. He changed into the form of Hanuman. And then what happened? Now, we all have seen many forms of Hanuman. We see him carrying the mountain. We see him kneeling in front of Ram and Lakshman and Sita. We see him carrying Ram and Lakshman on his shoulder. And that is what will happen next in this Katha. We see him opening up his chest. And we also see happening where the Lord embraced Hanuman. This is the one murti that we rarely see where Prabhu Sri Ramchandra embraces Hanuman. Now, who else did the Lord embrace like this before in our Katha? Sutikshana. Bhuja Vishal, with his long arms, he lifted Sutikshana up. And here he does the same thing with Hanuman. But where did Hanuman start from? And he says when Sutikshana did, Dandavata Pranam, Sutikshana was on the ground laying like a piece of wood. And the Lord picked him up. Hanumanji is doing the same thing. The Lord picks him up. When we are humble, the Lord stretches his hands out and rises us to his bosom and embraces us. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. This brings us to the conclusion of our Katha tonight. We will venture into Kiskindakand tomorrow, into Sundarkand tomorrow, and we want to invite you to join us when, of course, we will be celebrating Ram Janam tomorrow from 11 to 12, live streaming, and then there'll be a special Katha in the evening from 7 to 8, whereby we will read a little bit from Kiskindakand, the journey of Hanumanji in service of Prabhu Ram. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. When I sent the listing of the reading tonight to my students, some of them said, "Oh my God, so much we have to read." I hope they're saying, "Oh my God, so much we've learned tonight," because there was so much in tonight's Katha. We hope that you all have enjoyed it, wherever you are on social media. And I want to challenge our students tonight to take the time to continue to read. There's a couple of things I want to mention tonight. That during this Yajna, we've had tremendous support from people from all over, not only in Canada, but from the United States, Guyana, and even Trinidad, whereby financially, morally, and with good encouragement, we've had the support. The Yajna was organized by Nomita Dansa, Nomita and entire family, Jay, Banisha and Roshini, were all involved in planning together with the rest of the Kirtan Mandali. The entire family. This is one family. We have 3 families whereby husband and wife and children are involved in the Katha. And I take pride in mentioning them. That is the Dansa family, the Bhim family, and then the Dutt family. That is 3 families, and then we have the individuals who are involved. And I'm so proud of all of them for the efforts they've made. I must mention some of them that I think, always Rukmini and Sita and Anjani, and all the others are involved. That, and for my family, my daughters, Indira, Nirvana and Shivana, all of them involved. We have Marissa and her brother involved. And we have 3 people who I felt have come a long way. And that is Indra, who knew nothing but Hindi. And then there is Indira Ramdiyal, who started from zero. And then Tara Maharaj, who's with the Mandir all the time, but never was engaged in Ramayana. These 3 people have come a long way. They've committed themselves, and they're working well. The others had some background, some knowledge of Hindi, and were involved in some way or the other. So all of them collectively have made a difference to make this yajna a success, where this Katha continues to be so meaningful. So we encourage you, wherever you are, if you are interested, Ram Katha classes will continue. And we have launched this Ramayana Mandali, whereby we'll be hosting Ramayana Satsang once a month or many times a month as needed by the devotees. And you may book this Satsang, and it will be virtual until you are welcome to come to the Mandir. If it's virtual, then it's exposed to people all over the world. Basically, we will arrange a Zoom link, and you can invite your family and friends from wherever in the world they are to join us. And all of the Katha will be presented from the Mandir by the Mandali. There is no fees for these sponsorship. We want to extend the joy and glories of Prabhu Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan into your life. And we will find it quite a privilege to do this for you at any time. So please make note, if you're interested, then send an email or contact the mandir or use our Facebook or whatever connections you have to get to us, and we'll arrange these for you in the future. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki. A reminder that tomorrow is Ram Janam. Ram Janam is celebrated at midday, and we will start our proceedings here sometime between 10:30 and 11. But from 11 to 12, there will be live streaming, or actually till 12:30, where we'll have the welcoming of the Divine Lord. So wherever you are, if you can join us on social media, we'll be happy to engage you in worshiping the Divine Lord and welcoming Prabhu Ram. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. We conclude Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Bolo
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram
Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. In mentioning the members of our group, there is one member who's not been present, and that is Sunita. And Sunita, her mom passed away, and we continue to extend our condolences to Sunita and her family, because she's very also interested and was very engaged in the Ram Katha. And then Neelam Upadhyaya, who is also a member of our group, who's not here with us today. But there are so many, but because of the numbers limitation and COVID-19, all of us could not be gathered together. But these are some of the key people who are involved in Ram Katha. Also want to thank all of those families who donated to buying flowers to maintain and to have malas made every day and puja for the murtis. All of the families who generously gave money to support these causes. And we thank all of those who contributed towards sponsoring Bhojan for our seniors. And that project continues to work. And we are continuing to look for support in all of these activities. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Did I miss anything? Oh, our efforts to raise funds to help the people in the island where the volcano is St. Vincent continues. We will be putting together some packages this week, and these packages will be shipped there. They've given us a list of the things that they need, and we'll be purchasing these items based on the funds you donate. Some of you were asking if you could give products. We would like to do that, but the logistics are difficult. First, you'll have to come to the mandir, and you're not allowed to leave home. And you'll have to bring it, then we'll have to sanitize it, then we have to receive it, then we have to store it. So to avoid all of that, it's best that we purchase these items and package them at one stroke and then have them shipped. So your contribution, we're asking a minimum of $21. We'll prepare one pack. You can give more than that, of course, and you'll be receiving a tax receipt. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. On behalf of all of our Pandits, Pandit Tiwari, Pandit Gaurav, Pandit Manuj, and of course our very, very dedicated admin personnel, Manmeet, who is here with us tonight, and all of the members of the Mandali, and Mr. Krishna Mohan, who's not here with us today, and Nimesh, who's helping with the production, and Tara Khan, who's been dedicated and in supplying the Mandir with all of the things necessary to keep things going. And a wonderful little lady, and I call her little lady because she's so charming and sweet, Anita Sahadev, who has tremendous effort to continue to keep the cooking of our meals while Manmeet was off on visit to India, taking care of mother-in-law. All of these people make a tremendous difference. May God bless all of them as we now rise for Aarti. Ramayana Aarti. आरती श्री रामायण जी की, बोलो आरती कीरति कलितल, आरती श्री राम, गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद, कवि ज्ञान विशारद, संकादि शेष सारद, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, बोलो गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश, चाहो शास्त्र सब, निजन धन संतन को सर्वस सार अंश सम, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, गावत संतत शंभु भवानी, व्यास आदि कवि बखानी, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, बोलो आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कलिमल हरणी विषय रसती की, दलन रोग भव पूरी अमी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, बोलो आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलितल की, कीरति कलितल सियति, श्री राम, बोलो श्री राम, श्री राम, रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। श्री राम राम रघुनंदन राम राम, श्री राम राम जनकर्कस राम राम, श्री राम राम शरणं भव राम राम, श्री राम राम राम, श्री राम, बोलो श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम, ओम हरि ओम। We give thanks to that divine Lord, Prabhu Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan, that incarnate of Bhagavan Vishnu, and to the Divine Mother in the form of Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati, for their graciousness to us, granting us the privilege to worship and glorify them in this Chaitanya Navaratri. We pray that, O Mother and O Divine Father, bless us all wherever we are, continue to guide us and protect us as we continue to live in your world. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Vidya Deva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Sarvam Om Namo Shanti Vanaspati Shanti Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Deva Shanti Sama Shanti Devi Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Devo Maheshwara Gurura Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Asato Ma Sadgamaya Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mamritam Gamaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Oh, Divine One, remove all of our sufferings and punishing. We want to be thankful to you, O Lord, that our devotee who in Guyana was infected by COVID is now recovered fully and returned home. The husband of one of our devotees. We thank you for your compassion and mercy to all who are in relief, and we ask your blessings on all those who are suffering grief. Om
सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय गणपति भगवान
की जय
उमापति महादेव
की जय
दुर्गा मैया की जय लक्ष्मीनारायण भगवान
की जय
राधा कृष्ण भगवान
की जय
पवन पुत्र हनुमान
की जय
सतगुरुदेव भगवान
की जय
व्यास जी महाराज
की जय
नमः
पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव हर हर महादेव सच्च सनातन धर्म की जय. ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम. धन्यवाद.